Welcome to the Woohoo Wonder Sessions. Hashtag your work for us at Woohoo Creative on Instagram. Let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm JJ.
And I'm Cole, and we are creative homeschoolers who are knowing that there's a lot of people who have kids at home and want some creative lessons. And we also travel. What else do we do?
We go to many national parks.
And we like to adventure and we love to be outside. And one of the things we're planning on teaching you about is some outdoor nature journaling and just being inspired by the world around us, even when we can't necessarily be in the world around us. So we've got a couple things to share with you today. We're going to do some reading, we're going to do some crafting, and we're also going to do some drawing. So we're going to start with what we like to start with on most days is our 365 Days of Wonder. They're Mr. Brown's precepts, and Wonder is, I'm sure, a book you've read or a movie you've read, but this is this quote book by the same author. And today is March 12th. That love is all there is all we know of love. Emily Dickinson, who's one of my favorites, right?
Yes, my mom's favorite poem is Hope is a Thing with Feathers.
And today, our theme for the day is Bear Day.
Roar!
And so we're going to start with a bear claw bracelet. Do you want to explain?
Yes, so the bear claw bracelet is a way to make, it's a certain style of bracelet. So here's the pattern up close. And you can use all different types of embroidery floss or thin yarn. I particularly like to use the DMC Moduline Colors embroidery floss because it's soft and it frays easily, so that way you can get a really cool tail. So as you see, I already have these different loops set up. And how
We use our safety pin to pin it to something sturdy. And then each one of these, is not just a straight line, it's actually a loop. And you're going to teach them how to do a 5 strand.
You could do you can do 4, 5, 6, or 7 strand bear claws.
But your favorite is?
So the easiest, in my opinion, is the 5 strand.
Is this one 5 strand?
Yes.
And here's...
Yes, that's a 5 strand with many different colors. Usually you do 3 of one color, then 2 of the other color. But with my mom's bracelet, I did. I had 4 different colors of yarn. So I did 2 dark purple loops. Then I did 1 loop of this, 1 loop of this multicolor, and then 1 loop of this pink thread that you see in this bracelet.
So you want to get started and show them how to do it? So you set up your hands in a very particular way.
Yes, as well as how you create these different loops is you take the thread and you spool it out, usually the length from the end of your hand to the middle of your chest will fit your wrist when you put it in half, and you create 5 loops depending on how many strands you want. If you want...
You're picking one up on each finger.
Yes.
So you're using your pointer finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger on this hand.
So...
And then just your pointer finger and your middle finger on this hand. And you're going to use your ring finger even though it doesn't have anything on it right now. Is that right? I'm going to move these just so it's easier to see.
Your loops, how you make them is you take a strand and you measure it from the end of your hand to the middle of your chest. And then you find the middle point and you loop that, and then you loop that middle point and tie the two ends together. And how you do this is you take this strand right here and you move it to your ring finger, and then you move that one down to your pointer finger, then you go across to the bottom. And
So you're grabbing from your ring finger on this side.
Yeah, you grab from your ring finger on the side with 2 threads on it.
So you're switching back and forth which one you're grabbing? So you have
Yes.
3 on this side. So now you got 2 on this side, so you're grabbing.
You now have 3 on this side.
You're always grabbing from pointer finger to ring finger. It just depends on which side has 3 and which side has 2. And I see you kind of pulling it out to tighten it up.
Yeah, that's to keep the pattern all nice and tight. So this is actually goes really fast.
But why don't you slow it way down for people who are just starting out? Can you kind of go through step by step?
Yes, so you bring down strand 2.
Can you scooch it over a little bit so you're on?
You bring down strand 2 on the side that has 2 on it, down from your middle finger to your ring finger.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do strand 1 from your pointer finger to your middle finger. Then you go across and grab the strand 3, and then you onto your pointer finger, and then you repeat the process. It depends on how fast you can go, though when I'm going at my top speed, I think that I can get maybe one of these done in like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, but most of the time you're kind of taking it nice and easy. And this isn't super tight to the table, but we kind of jerry-rigged it so we could film it. I'm going to let you watch him while I read you, a poem, which is underneath here, of course, about bears. So this is a bear claw pattern. And here's a poem about bears while you watch him work.
I remember how many times when I was first learning this, how many times I called it bear paw instead of bear claw.
Yep. Bear. Big bear, hunting near the tree, feasting on the honeycomb made by buzzing bees. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Big bear, wading in the lake. Fish is your favorite dish. Which one will you take? Swish, swish, swish. Big bear, resting in your den, sleeping through the winter before you're out again. Zzz, zzz, zzz. I just got this online, so I don't actually know who it's attributed to, but it's a pretty cute little poem. We try to always find a lot of resources when we have a little bit of a theme for a day. So we start with, we started today with what craft we wanted to share, which was this bear claw, and now you're really into a rhythm. Wow, it's pretty amazing to see. This bear claw bracelet, and we also tend to use YouTube as one of our resources. So later today we'll probably put in bear habitat or bear ecosystem or bear predator. What else could we do?
The beauty of bears.
The beauty of bears, how to draw a bear, although we are going to work on that right after we're done with our bear claw bracelet, which I think once you are finished, we'll do that. We also like to look at things that are inspiring. I'm going to put this one back under just so we can see because it's too hard to see on black. And pull this one out. This I just got off Pinterest, and I should have written out who had done this beautiful artwork. But this is How Do You Spell Love, Piglet? You don't spell it, you feel it. Pooh and A.A. Milne. And Winnie the Pooh is some great stuff. If you have it at home, you could read a little chapter today with your little one, or you could ask your parents to read to you, or you could read it. Pooh is always inspiring, and I love pulling quotes out and doing a quote sheet. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow because we're planning on doing a hero day tomorrow. So if you have a special hero that you love, that's a famous person, maybe an artist, or we're going to talk about a president and a president's wife, because we just went to the FDR Memorial, the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial. We hope you can get a quote by them, and you can ask your parents to maybe print out a color sheet by them. So he pulls really, really tightly to get as much of a pattern as possible. You hold it still for just a sec. There's the pattern. And then why don't you tie it off now, just because we're good to go. And these can be bracelets, or these could be curtain tie backs, or any sort of thing. So when you're done, you just put all your loops together, and then you just tie a knot around your finger, and you loop those.
Real quick.
Sometimes the finger knot's the hardest part, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah.
Or JJ, I apologize. And then you're just going to pull those loops through, pull tight, and then usually we probably trim the end or leave it looped to make it easier to put the bracelet on. And we just tied, how did you do this one? You just left the loop on, so that became the wrist loop.
Yeah, you usually
and you undo it from there.
You usually just leave the loop on, just so that way you don't have to like physically tie and untie the bracelet. Mama, could you maybe what's it called?
Well, we don't really need to undo it right this sec, so why don't we just leave it like that?
I'm gonna undo it so that way I can show them how to wrap it around your wrist.
Okay. Figuring it out, guys. Okay. You have to get it. It's already at 12 minutes. So why don't we end this one here, and we will come back and do a second one today with learning how to draw a bear. And you should have a pencil and some paper and some patience. And we love you, and we hope that we all get through this next bit of hanging out in our homes by ourselves well. So he's going to show you how we tie it on.
Is the end, real quick. Align all the different loops, like so.
You pop it through.
And tighten.
Yeah.
And if you want to make sure that you don't lose it, just
pull that little end through.
like that, and there.
Voila.
Now you have a cute little bear claw bracelet.
And I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll be back.